Welcome everyone to Nerd of the Rings. Today we've got a little bit smaller of a statue than what we've been doing in the past. We've done a lot of the 1/6 scale. Now this is one of Wētā's miniature statues. And who better to start off the miniature line than Sauron, the Dark Lord himself. This is a really cool pose, and there's some great behind-the-scenes trivia behind this one. And you can bet we will definitely be getting into that. But first, let's get into this box. Wētā? Let's be honest, there's not many better feelings than coming home and finding a cardboard box on the doorstep that says Wētā Workshop on the side. That's pretty fantastic. All right, let's open up the Dark Lord Sauron. Yes. All right, there we have the base, simple black base. Here we have, everything's in one piece. No assembly required. Well, I guess technically we have to put the base on. Very little assembly required there. Bam. There he is. The Dark Lord Sauron. Now these always amaze me how much detail they're able to work into such small statues. It is insane. And this one in particular, we see Sauron in a pose you probably remember from the films. It's actually on the back of the box here, where Sauron is lifting up his hand after creating the One Ring. And if you look in the film, he's actually got a dagger in his left hand. And there's a really cool story behind that. I actually had an interview recently with Luke Hawker. If you haven't already, check that out. He's actually the one who designed this. He's been around Wētā for ages. He's been in the films. An absolutely great guy to talk to, and a great guy, period. But we see the dagger in the left hand. What is that about? Well, the fun story there is that originally, Sauron was going to create the ring by stabbing his own hand while his hand had a pool of molten gold in it. So his blood would mix with the gold and form the One Ring. So it would literally be part of himself being mixed with the gold to kind of represent that pouring in of his power into the One Ring itself. So as we can see, there is kind of a black sheen running down the palm of Sauron's hand. So that's actually his blood. So this is depicting that. Even though we don't see it in the films, it was shot. Now the reason they've cut it, what I've been told, is it was kind of a dark, kind of a gruesome thing to have so early in the film. It happens within the first 10 minutes. And there's a few things like that. Also, Gil-galad's death is another great example that kind of push that PG-13 rating, especially if you have it in the very beginning of the film. But there's some great detail work in this. One of the things that was pointed out to me is the different layers of Sauron's cape. He's actually got 3 different layers to that cape, and they really go back and pour over those original images and footage to get all the details right. And if you check out that interview with Luke, he actually talks about a debate he had with Daniel Falconer about the loincloth in particular, and even going down to the details of the loincloth, he was trying to get it exactly right as we see it on screen. Now, Wētā does do a good number of characters and creatures in this miniature style. It's a really nice size, a little more friendly on the budget. And like I said, they have a lot of characters. Here's one of Gimli that I actually picked up while I was in New Zealand. And then I saw John Rhys-Davies at a convention, so I got John Rhys-Davies to sign it. Very, very cool. Nice pose of Gimli. Definitely a different vibe than the Dark Lord Sauron. There we've got Sauron forging the One Ring. Well, there you go, guys. It is the Sauron miniature statue. Shout out to my friends at Collector Zone for sending this along for me to unbox with you guys today. And if you're interested in picking up some awesome Lord of the Rings or other nerdy fandom memorabilia, check them out, collectorzone.com. And don't forget, save 15% off your order with the code NOTR. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Nerd of the Rings. Agbur Zomishi Kripatur.